When President Biden arrived in South Korea on the 20th, he went straight to the Samsung Electronics semiconductor factory in Pyeongtaek, Gyeonggi-do, as his first stop. He signed his autograph on a wafer, which is a semiconductor raw material, rather than a guest book. On the 22nd, he met with Ui Jang, CEO of Hyundai Motor Group, for an unexpectedly long 50-minute face-to-face conversation to discuss investment in batteries for electric cars. So, why is it that U.S. President Joe Biden is so interested in South Korean semiconductor and battery technologies for electric vehicles? Semiconductor. Since its spectacular introduction in the 20th century, semiconductors have become an important element of televisions, computers, cell phones, and a wide range of internet devices. Semiconductors are divided into two types: memory semiconductors and system semiconductors. Memory semiconductors are used to store information. When you think of a man's brain, you think of it as being in charge of memory. South Korea currently holds a prominent position in the memory chip industry, accounting for half of the global market. Next, the system semiconductor is a semiconductor device to process information, such as calculating, controlling, etc. If you compare this with a human brain, it plays a role in thinking of things, such as comprehension, logic, inference, etc. Therefore, the system semiconductor is used as a central controlling unit of an IT device, such as a microprocessor unit, MPU, a microcontroller unit, MCU, etc. Batteries of an electronic car. Electric cars were first launched in the 1920s by the king of invention, Thomas Edison, and used second-cell batteries with chargers. But due to their poor performance, people paid almost no attention to them. The price of petroleum, on the other hand, skyrocketed in the early 2000s. People have become more concerned about climate change. As a result of the advancement in battery technology, consumers are becoming more interested in electric cars. The main topics of electric cars are motors and batteries. Electric cars rotate wheels and batteries store electricity, which is required by a vehicle while it's operating. The more electric capacity it has, the longer the electric car can go. For such a reason, people pay much attention to lithium-ion batteries with strong performance. The myth of the success of the Korean semiconductor industry. The sales of the chip industry reached $20 billion, 24 trillion South Korean wons, in 2003, and semiconductor exports surpassed $128 billion, 140 trillion South Korean won, last year. Nobody can deny that the semiconductor industry has grown into a backbone of the Korean economy. South Korea has therefore become a nation so powerful in the field of semiconductors, with the best technology in the world, that even the US president would have visited the semiconductor and electronic battery facility. Even Nokia, once the world's largest mobile manufacturer, buys memory semiconductors from South Korea for its devices. The success of Korean semiconductors is the result of workers' rigorous efforts, as well as the South Korean government's and corporations' bold decisions and selections. South Korea has thus become a country so powerful in the field of semiconductors, with the best technology in the world, that the U.S. president would have visited the semiconductor and electronic battery facility.